most things in today's day and age, yes, there are risks with being deep-throated. But before we get into that, we have to talk anatomy. So if you get your little fingies here and feel down the front here, this part here, the little windpipe. So that's your windpipe. The esophagus or the food pipe sits behind it. So when a person is deep throating, what they're really aiming for is to get the penis or object past the base of the tongue, past the windpipe, and into the tube of the throat, pushing everything forward. Theoretically, it sounds great, right? Except there's a problem. When you've got a penis that's past the opening of the windpipe, you can't breathe. And you'll see that in videos, people coughing and spluttering and all of that sort of stuff. Choking is easily resolved, you pull the object out. One other problem though, what if there was a penis that was there and you vomited and the vomit came up just high enough to be able to go straight back down into the lungs because it was blocked, because there was still something inside the mouth. So it's actually a really high choking risk. What I would say to you is that we have gag flexes for a reason. It's to mean the gag flex's main role is to allow you to eat food without inhaling it into your lungs. So that's what a gag reflex does, is if you drink water in the wrong direction or something like that, once food or anything like that hits the airway, you quickly get that coughing response and everything closes down as well. So I would, like in many of the videos we've been talking about, I would say that deep throating is an extreme play scenario, right? You can give amazing pleasure with a wonderful combination of hand and mouth, and you don't need to be forcing and bruising the back of your throat to be able to get a penis down inside the throat. But I would say that the minute things start sort of going beyond here, at the very back of the throat, it can get a little bit risky because you could bruise the back of your throat, but more importantly, you could block the airway, you could vomit, and the vomit could go into the airway. And if it's extremely violent, you could actually damage the airway as well, particularly the larynx and a little bone just underneath here called the hyoid, which is sort of like a chicken wishbone, and it breaks really, really easily. So again, it's an extreme play. Talk to a tutor, talk to somebody who really knows what they're on about, but it might just be that your anatomy is not designed in that way. Learn to use your hands, learn to use your mouth and your tongue, and I promise you, your sexual partners won't even know that they're not being deep-throated. Sure, I understand that there are people who really, really struggle with oral sex because of the gag reflex. You know, there are some people who can't scuba dive because they can't put something inside their mouth. Some people even struggle gagging when they're brushing their teeth. The gag reflex is important though, because what it does is it enables you to eat food without inhaling it into the lungs. So the gag reflex is designed that if there is any chance of food or liquid going into the airway, it will close everything off. If you really enjoy the idea of giving oral sex, but you're finding that the gag reflex is just a little bit too much, I would say you could probably diminish it a little bit, and that's with gentle exploration. And that could be, say for example, if you gag when you're brushing your teeth, you could try just brushing your tongue a little bit, and that might help you get used to the sensation of having something inside your mouth. But how do I put this? Practice makes perfect, I would say. You don't want to get rid of your gag flex because you need it. But what you can do is in certain situations, you could diminish it a little bit by gently practicing and learning how your body responds. Like all things sexual, I really urge you to read your body and work with your body, not against it. If you have a super, super high gag reflex, you better learn how to use your tongue and lips to your best effect possible. Maybe add in a hand and you may get the effect that you're after. But I would sort of say that if you're going to go deep throating and all of that sort of stuff, the gag reflex is very hard to switch off and you probably won't be able to eliminate it. It's there for a reason. So learn your body And if you would like to reduce it maybe a little bit for oral sex, then maybe just learn, okay, I know that if something's tapping the back of my throat, it'll make me gag. So don't tap the back of your throat. Just learn to put a base of the hand at a point where, you know what, it's just going to be easier to do, to have a demo thing. Tops. If a bottom puts their hand around your cock, it's because they don't want to vomit on you. So don't be rude. Let your bottom pleasure you. They know what they're doing. They're professionals. Leave them alone. Let them do their work. Your job is to lay back and enjoy yourself. Okay? Bottoms. If you have a top who's violently going bang, 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 and it is making you gag, put your hand, this is the dose of cock that you can take inside your mouth, put your hand there so they can't force it in any further. And then you can just gently explore that way as well. But I think a wonderful combination of taking your time, allowing your body to relax, and the muscles in the back of the throat will relax a little bit as well, but control the experience. If you're with a sexual partner who is making you gag, and this isn't part of the deal, then maybe it's time to have a chat with that sexual partner as well.